Hello guys, this is my market recap on Bitcoin. Today is Monday, okay, not Sunday. Today is Monday, the 14th day of April 2025. So I'll be making a general recap on Bitcoin today. What the market has done so far, at least since we entered 2025 on the 1st January of 2025, at least. Of course, probably towards the 19th of November, because that's when this particular range started. So if you are watching, kindly go ahead and smash on the like button, smash on the follow button on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. That's where I post most of my videos. Very soon I'll start posting videos, at least weekly recap videos on Sundays, or probably choose any day of the week. Longer videos of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So on at least once every week on YouTube. That's what I'll be doing for YouTube especially. But for TikTok, my routine for TikTok is daily, like every single day, just short videos, 2-3 minutes of short videos every single day on TikTok. So, but I will consider placing, like, making a general market recap on Bitcoin and some other crypto pairs like Solana and Ethereum, possibly. But the major one I'll focus on is Bitcoin, because that's majorly what I trade. So welcome to my recap video on Bitcoin today. So basically, if you just zoom out on the daily time frame, or if you go to the weekly time frame, you will see a double top formation that has formed on the daily time frame. This is a double top, although during the formation of this double top we had a double bottom that helped us to complete the double top, as you can see. So this is the completion of the double top, aided by a double bottom, and this is the break. This is the neckline of this double top now. The neckline of this double top, which we broke out of this next neckline, retested the neckline, and then came to take out the low that was formed. Then we made a push towards creating it's called a lower high. We created a lower high and then went back down to create a lower low, taking out this previous low. So basically, if you want to analyze, just you take your level to create these very juicy looking levels to complete. Okay, let's color it green. Then we clone it and we look for another level that was created, and this level formed exactly at this very point. So if you notice, during our pullback, we hit that particular level. Like, we hit this particular level during our pullback. This is where we hit, and then before going down. So, but basically, these are the two major points of interest for us to focus on, and that is where we will be focusing on. So secondly, after this pullback, we created a low. Now normally we are supposed to take a level at this point. There is a level that formed there, which is a resistance turned into a support. But there is how I trade on a personal level. I don't consider what's happened at this far point without first of all considering what is happening here, especially on the daily time frame. So if you come into this level, we have our zone here, which this is our immediate zone on the daily time frame, and I'll show you how this zone was I'll show you how this zone was respected. Consequently, it was respected so well, and that is the reason I'm telling you that you should focus on the immediate formations. Focus on what is happening at the immediate zone. So we now have the right to come down to the 4-hour time frame. If you come down to the 4-hour time frame, we had a pullback at this point after taking this low. And the rules of price action is, after a break of a major support, we most likely have a retest of that major support. So people that were trying to long at this level, people that were trying to long this point when we broke above here without knowing that it's a manipulation, had a very bad luck that waited for them, because they were all taken out when they get reversed into this range. So we had a pullback into this range, then we came down. I was thinking we all come down to take out here, but the market does not move in a straight line. We pulled back again to make it a sort of break and retest, and then this is when we now came to take out this particular level. After taking out this level, what else happened? We had a level here. Taking out this level, we sort of made a minor deviation. I'll call this a minor deviation. Taking out this particular zone. This shit is misbehaving. After taking out this particular zone, taking out this particular level, we took it out, created a minor deviation, and then we reclaimed this upper level. We reclaimed this level, and then we moved I was thinking we come into this zone, but we had a very very rough consolidation in between these zones. Very rough consolidation. That is why whenever you take a trade and you determine your target and your stop loss, just close the PC you're using to trade and go and do other things, because this kind of movement is what maybe if you're looking at the market and looking at these waves, you will think the market is trying to reverse, and possibly you go and close your system, go and close your trade, I mean to say. And when you don't close your trade, the market will go to your target with that same wave pattern. So when we came into this zone, when we came into this particular level and started consolidating here, I noticed that there was a formation of series of higher highs and higher lows, and that is how trend lines are formed. Trend lines are formed with sort of a if it's a bearish trend line, it will form with lower lows, or sorry, it will form with higher lows to form a bearish trend line. If it's a bullish trend line, it comes with lower lows. Look at this, is a low, this is a lower high, this is a low, this is a higher high, lower, a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then the break of the formed counter trend line. That is exactly what happened here before we now started going down. And then when we came down into this level to take out this level, that is the reason you should not move your levels, because no matter the market will still come to respect them at some point. So when we were trading above here, I noticed that we also formed a trend line around this level. We formed a trend line, and this trend line was formed with series of, this is a high, we came down, created a low, we created a lower high, created a lower low. Then we tested this trend line that's why if you want to take a deviation trade, if you want to take any deviation trade, make sure there is a confluence of a trend line, because you might see this deviation form and then take a trade from here, and it will come down here, probably take you out if your stop loss is around this level. We came back here, hit this trend line, pulled back, forming a double bottom, and then at this point we broke out of this trend line. So if there was a close of 1 hour candle here, you are actually free to take a trade from here. But if there is no close of 1 hour candle, which is the case of this particular, because at the close of this particular trade, we went like, when the 1 hour candle broke out of here, we went straight up. We didn't close around this particular level. And when you see such trade, just leave it alone, wait for a retest, which actually happened here. We had a clean pullback and we are having a continuation. So as I'm seeing this trade, no matter what this market is doing around this level, this is the target. The origin of this counter trend line is the target, which is around 8,000. Although I was in this trade, but I have left the trade, I've closed my trade. But I still believe and I still maintain that we will take out this 8K level at least. So that is my opinion on Bitcoin. That is what I think will happen on Bitcoin. If you come down to the 1 hour time frame, you will notice that after breaking out of this counter trend line, there was no close around this level. We went straight up, and then when it pulled back, it formed a double bottom. So showing that it's a very bullish scenario. So when we formed the double bottom, we started going up to take out the levels. As I always say, as I always maintain on my Twitter, whenever there is a break of a massive counter trend line, the market will take out all the levels that are within that counter trend line. The market will take out all the levels. This is the first level of a counter. If you take this place out, and most possibly take this place out. So I believe we are going to take out 8K level or probably into 90K levels. So that is what I believe will happen. The only time I will be taking another long position, or I will consider another long position, is one, if we come back down into this level. This is not the right tool to use for this. If we come back down into this particular level, I will consider taking a long position if I see a signal for a long position. Because if we come down into this level, we are going to form a head and shoulder pattern for a bullish continuation. Another consideration I would take is, for a long position, I would take is, if we break out of this trend line, there is a massive trend line here. I think we are actually trying to break it at this point. But if we break out of this trend line and then possibly break out of this, if you break out of this trend line, if you take any trade from this point into this particular level, will cause a breach. This particular level will disturb it. It will not be a free ride. But because there might be something like this, a breakout of this trend line and then a pullback, a very nasty pullback, which has actually happened severally. So I will possibly wait for a break above this level. I will consider taking a trade above this particular green zone than taking a trade immediately we break out of this counter trend line. So this is my view on Bitcoin. That is what I think will happen on Bitcoin in the coming weeks. But if we don't break out of this counter trend line, we are most likely going to have a reversal back down. And if we should reverse from here back down, we are going to take out this low. We are going to take out this low. We're not just going to stop at this particular low or stop here. I believe we are going to take out this very low to now respect this zone that is lying dormant here. There is a liquidity pool that is lying here. If we take out this zone, we're going to respect it here before any bullish reversal will take place or a bearish continuation. So thank you very much I believe you have already followed this particular account. Thank you very much and have a wonderful and profitable week ahead.